Hi folks, Mike Huber, Moneyball Hitter Magazine, lead columnist and hitting specialist for the magazine. How you doing, everybody? We're doing a spring training report on the Chicago Cubs. Being here from Chicago, I know that the Cubs have a lot of expectations this year, and there is a tremendous amount of excitement for the Cubs, especially some of the pickups that they had this year with their pitching staff and their new sensational hitter, Kris Bryant, who will be a rookie this year. He leads the major leagues, the spring training, I think with 8 or 9 home runs so far this year. And the Cubs are one of the leaders in home runs for spring training this year. So my question is, should the Cubs fans be excited over this? And we have a simple answer over here. Probably not, to tell you the truth, because the Cubs last year in spring training were one of the leaders in home runs. The fact of the matter is that they're not winning a lot of games in spring training. As a matter of fact, in the Cactus League, they're next to last with the San Francisco Giants. We don't hold a lot of credence with spring training as far as, how the season's going to turn out. But to come near last place, not win a lot of games in the spring training is a telltale sign. Is it a telltale sign that the Cubs are going to be a good hitting team because they're hitting a lot of home runs this year? Well, last year, like we said, they hit a lot of home runs in spring training. Last year during the regular season, they hit a lot of home runs. But their team batting average is so bad, and it's so bad right now in spring training. It's like 247. And I think last year during the regular season, they hit under 247 as a team, probably around 243 or something like that. So they're near last place as far as team batting average is concerned this year in spring training and last year during the regular season. So the consistencies of these numbers are telling us that the Cubs are probably going to hit like they did last year, which was not good enough. Okay? If you want to be a championship hitting team, you do have to have power, and the Cubs do have that. But they're so inconsistent at the plate. They have a lot of powerful hitters that can't control their body really well, and they strike out a lot, very inconsistent at the plate. The Cubs as a team do not score a lot of runs per game and do not get a lot of hits per game. Okay, so if you're batting around 240, 245 like the Cubs are, that tells you they probably get between 5 to 7 hits a game in a 9-inning game. That's not really good at all. Okay, so the only thing that's really going to save the Cubs, now their pitching staff is going to be a little bit better this year, as we know, is this, but the sensational hitter, Kris Bryant. Okay, he's a home run hitting machine. He hits near 300. We think that he's going to be able to do the same when he actually gets the call up to the major leagues, which is probably going to be at the 15-game mark this year. So is he going to be able to help the team out? Yeah, we do think that he is. We really do think that he is. Is it going to be good enough? No, we don't think it's going to be good enough, to tell you the truth. There is a chance that he alone can spark a lot of the other players and maybe help some of the other players in the lineup put some better numbers that they did last year. But we really don't see it happening with the Cubs, and one of the reasons why is, we have noted that their hitting coach, their new hitting coach, John Meili, who's come over from the Florida Marlins and last year the Houston Astros, is it's not a good marriage between what John Meili teaches and the types of hitters that the Cubs have. The Cubs are backside rotational hitters, power hitting types of guys. John Meili does not teach that. As a matter of fact, he teaches more linear mechanics, which is more of a contact type of swing. And, we know here at Moneyball that, when you mix and match philosophies, and we know that the linear hitting mechanic philosophy really doesn't work at any level, okay? If you want to put the ball in play, it might work, but at the major league level, you need to not only put the ball in play, but you need to drive the ball more consistently than the other teams and hit more power home runs. So with Meili, there's been a consistency wherever he goes, that the power numbers go down and the batting averages go down, kind of wherever he's been. With the Houston Astros and the Florida Marlins, it's proven that when he's in charge of the hitters, that their team has come in near last place. And now he's taken over a Cubs team who is, starting out in near last place last year in hitting with some good power numbers, with the addition of Kris Bryant, who is an effective rotational hitter. His dad has some affiliations playing under or some type of affiliation with Ted Williams and uses the Ted Williams Rotational Mechanics philosophy, which we really like here at Moneyball Hitter magazine. So, but John Meili really doesn't believe or understand that those types of mechanics, which most of the Cubs players have, but they are not disciplined very well in this. So there's going to be a clash of philosophy thinking with John Meili and the Cubs hitters, and we can see it already because one of his prize pupils was going to be Baez. Okay, Baez, one of the middle infielders. Hopefully, they wanted him to start at second base. Big power hitter, can't control his swing. Right now, John Meili has his hands on him and cannot do anything with him. He's hit like a $124 this spring, and he's probably not even going to make the 40-man. Well, make him a 40-man roster, but he won't be up with the Cubs at all. He's getting worse. Okay. So, right now, Meili is letting the Cubs kind of swing their way. He's working with a couple of hitters like Baez. And, the Cubs aren't really getting any better than they were last year, except for the addition of Kris Bryant. Okay? So, Cubs have 32 home runs this spring. They're second behind the Dodgers, who have 40. Take away Kris Bryant's 9 home runs, and you just got a regular power hitting team, average power hitting team, and the Cubs should be more than that actually this year. So they're not really living up to their potential as a team this year. Their pitching staff is going to be a little bit better, but right now we don't see any indication that their hitting is going to get much better at all. And if it starts out not so good, and by midway season, it's not so good. Meili is really going to make an effort to get his hands on these guys, and then we think it's really going to go downhill from there if he really starts to implement his philosophy into these Cubs hitters. The Cubs hitters need somebody who knows a lot about effective rotational hitting, which is as we have noted in this magazine, is very difficult to figure out. And we have a Moneyball training formula ourselves that has simplified effective rotational mechanics, which is what we believe that hitters should be hitting in, some type of rotational mechanics, and we call it effective rotational mechanics. And the Cubs hitters are close to that. They've got a lot of young guys. Their swings are out of control. And this spring training, even though they put up some good home run numbers, their batting average numbers are down, and they're losing games. They're near last place in hitting as far as team batting average is concerned, and they're losing games. They're almost in last place in the Cactus League. So if you, Cubs fans and how they're marketing the Cubs this year, and they got a better team, and we got this guy, and we got that guy. They're just not putting up the numbers that are going to help them make a playoff run. We're sorry. And Kris Bryant is not going to start out the season with the Cubs, so they're probably not going to get off to a good start at all. Okay? And when Kris Bryant comes back, is he going to help them out? Yes, he is. Okay? Yes, he definitely will. But it might be too late. They might be far out of the race by the time that happens. And, and this marriage between the new hitting coach, John Meili, and the Chicago Cubs hitter is not a good one. It really isn't. And we just don't see, if he really gets their hands on him, on a lot of these good hitters like Soler and, Baez, it's just not going to go well for the Cubs. So, a lot of people are predicting that the Cubs are going to be maybe second, third place, possibly a shot at winning the division. We really don't see that at all here. Okay, but Cubs are a power hitting team, and we do like power. You need power in the lineup. There's no doubt about it. So, but there's just way too many inconsistencies, and these inconsistencies from last year, the previous year, have not been fixed in spring training at all. As a matter of fact, on some accounts, it's gotten worse. Okay, so reality check for the Cubs. Yeah, they can hit for power, but a lot of things have not gotten better. Mike Huber, Moneyball Hitter Magazine. Hope you enjoyed this. Hit the like button if you like our videos, and feel free to comment down on the comment section. Take care.